everyone, welcome to my Pantone Universe Color of the Year makeup tutorial. If you're Team Rose Quartz, which is beautiful powder pink, or Team Serenity, which is this beautiful periwinkle blue, please comment down below. Otherwise, on to the tutorial. So this year's Pantone Colors of the Year is actually two because they couldn't make up their mind. Anyways, it's Rose Quartz and Serenity, which Rose Quartz is a very pale but very vivid pastel pink, and Serenity is this beautiful not lavender, periwinkle blue. And because I don't have a swatch book on me and my local Sephora was out of stock of the lipsticks, I decided to just take little lip samples with me of the testers they still had out. But also, I'm not gonna lie, 30 bucks for one of those lipsticks? No. So this is me trying to dupe the colors with what I've already got. So Rose Quartz is very pale, desaturated, still quite vibrant pink. So I've pulled some shades from what I already have, and this is Sugar Pill's Dolly Pop, which is a little too blue toned. If you mix it, these kind of work well together. Personally, if you already have them, this is Sugar Pill's Kitten and Dolly Pop together. It gets it closer to the shade you want. Personally, I have actual dupe, and my dupe is not dupeable, which is unfortunate. And it's also a limited edition, so yeah, you can't even buy it anymore. But this is Royal Flush from Line Prime. I'm super mad that they discontinued this palette. In particular, it was like the Antoinette palette. And it was just so many shades of like desaturated but really vibrant pastel pinks. Now for the Serenity color, which again is this periwinkle. I'm really no brand makes periwinkle eyeshadow, which is kind of a shame. You have like lavender shades and you have shades that are leaning blue, but periwinkle is basically a very light blue with a tiny bit of purple in there. So my choice in this case is actually from the Ultimate 252 palette from Coastal Scents, and they have this palette. There's 3 trays, and I found that the last tray, which is this desaturated palette color, for me, for mixing purposes, this denim blue, which is a desaturated like blue. Yeah, I think actually it was this one because it's really pastel-y purple, even though it's like more of a mauve color. So these two mixed together gives me a periwinkle tone. Another option you can use, but it's not quite there. It's unfortunate. Is the Essence All About Candies palette. Now, personally, those shades are even paler than the Rose Quartz and Serenity color, so it's workable, but it's very like, let's say you've already got the color down, you want like a really bright highlighter to go with it, these would work. So next up I have a couple lip glitters. Now the first one for Serenity I have is Hunny Bunny, and this one's in size 3 kind of reflective chunks. The shade is definitely a little bit darker in terms of the base, but this is the lightest pink glitter that has a sort of vibrancy to it. And the little micro translucent color reflecting shimmer actually does lighten it up once you apply it, if you're applying over top of a lighter eyeshadow. And the one I have for Serenity is this shade called Y50. This is gorgeous. This shade is everything to me. If you like purples or blue eyeshadows, this will look amazing over top of either one of them. But the shade is definitely that periwinkle base with blue to green reflex. So for next up, I'm going to talk about eyeliner possibilities. Now, you can find periwinkle eyeliners, just not in Canada very easily, so this is what I've come up with. And this is Peppers from ColourPop, which is this mauve purpley color. Now I use this first as a base before I try to mix in some blues to get that kind of periwinkle shade. So the next one I layer over that pepper shade is this Styli-Style eyeliner in Bluestone, which is, again, this very desaturated light blue, but it just doesn't quite have that cool purple base undertone. And then finally on top of that, I have this Scandalized Rimmel light blue shade, which is actually really cool. If you place it in your waterline with a really nice look, it will brighten and whiten up your eyes automatically. But this is definitely used to lighten up those two colors because they're still a little too deep for the periwinkle we were looking for in Serenity. You could also use a white, but because this is blue, it kind of works together and makes them all in good shade to work with. And now for Serenity, basically you can find pink lip liners, you're good to go, but again, nothing quite has that vibrant pink undertone to it, so I've got a few shades here again to see what I can pull together. First up is Monkey, which is this very baby pink, but again, it's more like that Dolly Pop shade, so it's a little too cool tone for what we need it to be. So I layered that down first, and over top of it you have a couple of options now. Now the next one I have is this Gosh Velvet Touch Liner in Pink Darling. Now this is actually an eyeliner. It's very desaturated pink, so over top of it, it does kind of brighten the shade, but again, it doesn't quite make it to that warmer tone that we're looking for. Now the last one I have is this NYX Slide On Pencil, and this is for the waterline, or the eyes I should say. And the shade is Pink Suede, and it's closer to the shade of Serenity. It's just a little bit too blue tone, but it's definitely a much more nicer looking color to work with, and you're trying to use that as a base for eyeliner. So to start off this tutorial, I've already done my foundation, concealer, contouring, and eyebrows, and I don't fill my eyebrows very deeply because it makes me look angry because my eyebrows are really low on my brow bone. First I'm going to apply my base, which is Soft Offer from MAC. It's a little bit darker than my skin tone, but it's a nice creamy base to work on. Next I'm going to take L'Oreal's Model Eyeshadow in Paris Beach, which is a nice creamy light lid color, but I'm going to use it on the brow bone and blend it down towards my lid, but not on the mobile part. Next I'm going to take that Royal Flush eyeshadow and apply that to the mobile part of my lid and just blur it out slightly around the edges. I'm also taking that same brush to apply my eyeshadow with the brown bone color and just using that to pack it on. Next I'm going to take Lit's Honey Bunny glitter and apply it over my lid before I start doing anything below the eyes. Glitter gets everywhere, so I usually actually like to apply my eyeshadow first, so that way if I have any fallout, like just wipe it off before applying my foundation. But in this case I'm going to use a paper towel or a tissue just to catch the fallout. So using Lit's Clearly Liquid Base to apply this glitter. Next I'm going to take Rimmel's Light Blue eyeliner and do my lower lash line in that first. And it works as a base. It's also the base color starting in the corner, and I'm going to do a gradient of periwinkle to the edge. Next I'm going to take those eyeshadows I picked out, and I'm starting with the periwinkle, or not periwinkle, the mauve color first, and applying that to the brush. And then I'm going to grab that denim blue and mix that in. And I'm going to start applying that to the outer edge of my eyes first and dragging them in. Lastly, I'm going to take this actually very pastel, even paler than Serenity periwinkle blue, just to soften off the gradient a little bit more on the corner of my eyes, or the inner corner third. So next I'm going to clean up any sort of fuzziness going around the edges with a Blanc Type eyeshadow. It's pretty close to my skin color, but it also adds a nice little bit of brightening around the eye area. Next I'm going to take a MAC's Chromaline in Pure White and add it to my lower waterline and into the corner of my tear duct. Now I've done the inner tear duct and the waterline white, I'm going to add in our glitter from Cosmetics, and it's called Barbie Shop. It is number 3, which is just this clear, but it looks white in the container, translucent rainbow glitter, just to blend the two tones together. And lastly for the eyes, I'm going to pop on this pair of iconic lashes from House of Lash. And they're really nice and feathery at the edges, but they're deep and dense along the lash line. So that's with the lashes on, and I've also popped on my first wig of 2 I'm going to show you, and this is the periwinkle wig from Epic Cosplay, Hestia style, and the color is ice blue, but it has that little bit of periwinkle tone to it, which I really like. But first I'm going to show you the Rose Quartz lipstick with this wig. And again, I don't have the Rose Quartz lipstick with me. It is this Yin, this pinky shade, and I actually found a dupe for it in a drugstore. The lipstick comes from LA Girls, and this is the matte flat velvet lipstick. Now the shade is Carried Away, and yes, it is like 99% dupe to the Pantone color. But another option is, and because I love liquid lipstick, just because if you're going to go for really unusual colors, you want them to stay on your lips. You don't want to have to mix them later on. Just like, oh, need more color, but I have to go mix this color up. So here's my option in liquid lipstick. Now I've got this Monster Makeup lipstick, and it is this bright, light pink, but it's still too dark compared to the Rose Quartz. So I'm going to add Jeffree Star's Drug Lord, which is going to be permanent, yay! And this actually ends up mixing up the right shade. So to start off, I'm actually applying this Gosh Darling, Pink Darling? Yeah, Pink Darling eyeliner as a lip base, just because my lips are so rosy. I need to mask out some of the color. You could go white, but I'd rather just pick something that's close enough to the shade you're heading for. No. Just no. This shade is terrible on me. And I'm pretty fair, like I'm an NC5. This whole color palette makes me look incredibly tan, but dude, no. The shade on its own, not like it. I'm gonna put on another color just to make this a little bit more wearable. Basically the only reason why I was even remotely interested in this shade is because I think it would make a really cool like highlight shade on the lips, but on its own, dude, like, like it's just glowing on my face. And also the worst part about pastels in general is it makes your teeth look yellow, so yeah, my teeth aren't like blinding right, but like, no, just no girl, no. So that's a little bit better. I've mixed in 2 lip liners, and one is Cake from ColourPop, and the other one is, well actually this is the eyeliner again, and it's Pink Suede, just to give some depth and, you know, something that looks a little more less animated, less, you know, mod. So comment down below if you even like this lip color. But I don't know, something about this color palette makes me look really tan, which is kind of fun actually. Now with my Rose Quartz wig, I'm gonna do the periwinkle lip color. Now my choice is, unfortunately, I don't think Makeup Monsters makes this shade anymore, because this is very pale white lavender. Yeah, I'll call that lavender. It's called Penny Royal. I wish they remake it because, dude, this is a purple highlight. It looks amazing on lip colors. And the color I'm gonna mix it with, because I have it, is Livius, which I forget what the Harry Potter original name is. I'll link it down below, or list it down below. But it says baby blue pink, and these two together makes the perfect periwinkle. So again, I'm gonna block out my lips because it's such a rosy tone, and you're using almost white colors on your lips. Your natural color will show through. So I'm gonna again use the light blue from Rimmel to block out my lips. Now this is way too light, but at least it's a good base. So here's the completed Periwinkle Serenity lip color. What do you think, guys? I kind of like it, although if I was gonna rock this, I'd be bleaching my teeth for about a month first, just to tone down the yellowness that they have. I'm like, my teeth aren't terribly white, but I can imagine like anyone wearing this color is gonna be yellow looking. So comment down below, what do you think? Although, I think I'm gonna pop on both wigs and see how this looks together, shall we? And now with the wig on, I feel like a unicorn. Like, seriously? Can we just... what? Actually, I feel like Sweet Lolita is getting into that vibe range, but yeah, definitely unicorn. So I'm actually gonna pop on a blush, and I'm gonna use Kitten Parade from Sugarfield. Yes, that's a lipstick still on my back of my hand. It's just a nice little touch of pink, but there's a little nice corally gold tone to it, so I have no highlighter on it, so I figured, why not? So blush looks kind of nice, but it looks a little dark on my skin just because there's so much going on. There's so much pastel going on. So I'm gonna pop on another highlight, which is Moonstone by Becca. So here's the very glowy unicorn kind of look going on here. I'm not gonna lie, it's like spring exploded. Or Easter. Yeah, we'll call it Easter. Oh man, the colors are very cool. I can see this doing this as more of a cosplay than anything else, cosplay costume, but yeah, comment down below what do you think this looks like to you. So if you liked this tutorial, comment, rate, subscribe down below, and if you have any suggestions or requests, comment as well. I'm all ears. Thank you for watching and have a great day.